On Thursday, Russian forces launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine that opened with air and missile strikes on a massive scale after days of diplomatic efforts by many leaders to prevent a war. Russian President Vladimir Putin stated that the aim of the special military operation was to protect Russia and demilitarize Ukraine. So what triggered Russia-Ukraine crisis? Russian President Vladimir Putin has been trying to assert control over Ukraine, which was once part of the Russian Empire and the USSR. After the collapse of the USSR, the United States and European powers added many of its allies such as Hungary, Poland, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania and the Czech Republic to NATO, the military alliance of 30 countries. In 2008, NATO said former Soviet states Ukraine and Georgia could also join NATO. This has angered the Russian president the most. But when did the recent Ukraine-Russia conflict begin? The recent conflict dates back to the Maidan Revolution in February 2014. Hundreds of Ukrainians were killed in the protests against the Russia-friendly Ukrainian President Viktor Yanukovych. The protest eventually led to the ouster of Yanukovych. Russia responded to the protest by annexing Crimea in March. In April, Russia-supported militias seized government buildings in Donetsk and Luhansk. These groups declared independence in May 2014 as the Donetsk People's Republic and the Luhansk People's Republic. Together, these regions are known as Donbas. So, what happened next? As expected, Ukrainian forces tried to retake the lost region, but they could not overcome the Russian challenge. The Russians threatened to capture more areas in Ukraine. A peace deal among Russia, Ukraine and separatists restored normalcy. The agreement was known as Minsk I, but Minsk I peace deal was short-lived. A full-scale fighting began in January 2015. World leaders resolved the crisis with another peace deal known as Minsk II. Separatists got control of large swathes of Donbas region after the peace deal. But do you think the peace deals brought actual peace to the region? The region continued to be tense despite the two peace deals. According to official data, more than 14,000 people have been killed in the region since 2014. So this gives an idea about the gravity of the unrest. Now, coming to the current scenario, how did the crisis escalate? Leaders of the breakaway regions moved civilians to Russia while holding back men of fighting age. In recent weeks, Putin assembled up to 190,000 troops on Ukraine's borders. On February 21, he recognized Donetsk and Luhansk as independent states. Later, he endorsed separatist claims to the whole of the Donbas. Finally, let us examine where India stands in the middle of this crisis. Ukraine has a significant number of Indians, including students who are currently stuck in the country. Nearly 400 students have taken shelter and have appealed to the government of India to evacuate them. On Thursday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi called up Russian President Vladimir Putin and appealed for an immediate cessation of violence. Currently, India has adopted a neutral stance and hopes for a peaceful solution to the crisis. Therefore, India stands where it does, not to be partisan.